Hi, this is Michael Buffer, and you're listening to the voice of the people. Let's get ready for Boxing Voice.
BoxingVoice.com. You seen what he did on Facebook, right? And they said, I'm gonna make a motherfucking emoji like this, look.
Wladimir Production.
BoxingVoice.com. All the guys want, I want what Mayweather got. I want what Mayweather got. You done bust your ass like Mayweather. It was ball. No fight. My life has always been a fight. I sacrificed a lot to get to where I got to. You don't think you're being overly critical to a guy that took a body shot and didn't go down?
That's no pressure. That's just my style.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of TBV in the Morning. We're here to bring you some big breaking news from the United Kingdom. Anthony Joshua, Wladimir Klitschko, what is being called the biggest marquee matchup in the heavyweight division in a few years, without a doubt. Joshua Klitschko tickets went on sale today. Officially was their pre-sale, and there is a confirmed 51,000 tickets sold already. There is going to be a secondary sale of tickets in January with another 35,000. So this looks to be topping when Frotch and Groves fall in the same stadium. But let me get to my co-host where it's nice and warm. I'm freezing over here in New York City. Let's get to the good doctor. Boxing MD, what's going on, brother? I know you want to sit in on this. We're going to head on over to the doctor, the Sunshine State. Boxing MD, what's going on?
Is that a fair statement to make? You have to be honest with yourself.
Well, it is not warm here. It's definitely cooler than, or warmer than it is up in Jersey by you, but nothing's hotter than that Anthony Joshua Klitschko ticket, which sold out 51,000 in under 30 minutes. And even Eddie Hearn is saying that it's a fight that even fighters have to pay for. So, Eddie Hearn's probably sitting, smiling, cheek to cheek, really happy, knowing that his man, who he promoted properly, is doing what he needs to do in a mega fight versus Klitschko. So, it's a good thing for boxing. I'm happy for this news.
Totally off topic, right? While researching for this said show, I think I came across an article that said that Joshua may be the first boxer to become a billionaire. Do you think that's even possible? I mean, I'm asking because, they're projecting 85 or 86,000. I'm sure they're going to open it up to the whole 90,000, at that stadium. He sells out always in minutes.
I thought that was Adrian Broner.
About billions. You're right about that. Well, Adrian Broner's doing a bit of promoting himself. If you take to his social media, he's trying to promote Soulja Boy in a street fight on About Billions Promotions, 20,000 for the winner.
Who was he fighting? Isn't Soulja Boy like really skinny? Like he seems like kind of not really.
He's the rapper. He's trying to do celebrity boxing now. But look, Joshua Klitschko tickets went on sale. You could check the hashtag Anthony Joshua tickets and see all the unhappy customers that were not able to get their tickets in time due to StubHub UK, the site crashing because of the high demand. But here's the tricky thing, MD. There was a high demand, but I don't think that the StubHub would have ever been able to adequately compensate all the, demanding fans that wanted tickets.
Web traffic, server overload.
Well, outside of the web traffic, they were only given 20,000 tickets. As you can see from Eddie Hearn's tweet, the tickets were dispersed. There were 51,000 tickets that sold today, but only 20,000 of those got on StubHub. You had to go to these locations here to try and get some of those. And you know, they had different packages. Obviously, 15,000 tickets were coach packages, and 10,000 were club Wembley packages, and 6,000 fight pass, and then 20 obviously via StubHub today. But they are releasing another 35, and I'm very confident that they'll open it up to the 90. But even still, I mean, we gave Canelo so much praise when he sold 51,000 tickets in Texas. I am very sure that these tickets were not sold at $10 or $25.
That is correct, but you know, I think an issue too is I think people were buying a lot of you know, if you had the money, if you had the principal, if you could afford to buy 10 tickets, buy 10 tickets and you could resell them higher, because Eddie Hearn even retweeted that the tickets are already 2 to 3 times higher than what they were originally marked as. And I think I read that the tickets were anywhere between I think 40 euros or 50 euros up to 2,000 euros for the ringside. And I know they use, or British pounds. I don't know what, obviously they're using pounds over there, but that's affordable, right? And by comparison, the cheapest ticket, at least on principle, for the Manny Pacquiao Floyd Mayweather fight, which is an entirely different venue, I guess ideology in which they're selling the fight, because the cheapest ticket was $1,500, and that was in the nosebleeds in a 16,000, a little more than 16,000 stadium, where that was more of like a fight for the elites, for the celebrities, for the very wealthy who could afford to go to that fight. And I kind of like seeing a mega fight, although there will be a lot of casuals there, that is accessible for the working class folk who watches boxing, you know?
Yeah, I'm just shocked that these guys could sell so much. I mean, I shouldn't be, right? George Groves and Carl Froch did it, and they had 80. Anthony Joshua has proven that all his fights sell out in a matter of minutes.
Well, I'm sorry,
Wladimir Klitschko, and it just has to happen.
I want to fact check myself, just because I don't live in the UK. I don't have that information. I was called bollocks for this. There was a maximum of 6 tickets, so I said 10. That's you know, we should get the facts right, that you are only allowed to buy 6 tickets, right?
Wow.
But again, Ness, it's like, let's just say me and you are going to the fight. I mean, we both buy 12 tickets. It's just 2 people, and we sell, you know, the rest of the tickets. So I think a lot of people were doing that, because if you can make a lot of money on the resale, why wouldn't you do that? Because there's a lot more than 80,000 or 90,000 people trying to see that fight in person.
Now, Wladimir Klitschko would have been out of the ring how many months? Something like 14? No, 16? Is it 16? Maybe even 17, right? Because I think his last fight was when?
Thanksgiving. Almost 2 years. It was oh wait, are you going to talk about when they're actually in the ring? I think it's about a year.
Actually in the ring, it's going to be about 17 months. Maybe that's why he's such a you know, heavy favorite, right?
2 to 1. It's a little more. It's about, AJ is about a 2 to 1 favorite, which when this fight was announced, like principally a long time ago, a lot of, you know, me, even myself, I'm like, I would definitely kind of favor Klitschko, but even myself, I don't know, like I got to reassess the circumstances, because AJ seems to be trending upwards, and we don't know what we're getting with Klitschko. And with that big layoff, Vladimir's never taken a layoff like that his entire career. So yeah, he's a 2 to 1 favorite, AJ.
Speaking of layoffs, entire careers, B-Hop hadn't taken a layoff that long in his entire career. Now, Wladimir and B-Hop are nowhere near the same age, but they are older men. Can we see another young, up-and-coming, hungry champion bowl a veteran out the ring the way that Joe Smith Jr. did? Now, that would be a statement for sure. You know, people are running around. All the headlines is Joe Smith Jr. made a statement. I mean, Anthony Joshua knocks out Wladimir Klitschko. That would have been a statement, because, I mean, man, when's the last time he's been knocked out? It's been so long. You know, he's been under that tutelage before, rest in peace, Emmanuel Stewart died. He taught him a few things, and Layman Brewster was the last person to knock out Wladimir Klitschko. And, man, that was like 2004. I mean, it should be. I mean, you should get a fine if you bring up that he has a bad chin.
AJ was still in elementary school then, you know.
I know, like you can't, people will say, oh, well, Samuel Peters or no, was it Corey Sanders, also stopped them. But again, 2003, we're talking about over a decade ago. Obviously, he has learned something with that chin. And Joshua being 18-0, it's going to be an interesting fight, to say the least, to see just how well Joshua does with his toughest test till date. Definitely a lot of excitement surrounding this fight. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching this is TBV in the morning, something that we don't usually do. So hit that thumbs up button to spread the word that we're actually here taking live calls. Speaking of live calls, that number is 1-425-569-5241. If you want to speak to the host or you just want to voice your opinion, get it off your chest, this is the Voice of the People hotline. MD, speaking of hotlines, do you want to go out to these callers? We have a few. You want to get their takes on the
yeah I just want to say a few more things and we could take them. The first thing is I would say that this, considering Floyd Mayweather is retired, and even if Floyd Mayweather is not retired, I mean, this is the biggest fight in boxing. This is the biggest fight in boxing. And AJ, if he beats Klitschko, obviously it'd be better for boxing for a younger guy to get a good win against a future first ballot Hall of Famer. But if AJ beats Klitschko, he is by far the biggest name in the entire sport of boxing, bigger than Canelo.
Now, when you say this is the biggest fight in boxing, do you mean economically? Because I don't think I'm more excited for this one, Wladimir Klitschko versus Joshua, than I am for, say, Gennady Golovkin, Daniel Jacobs, or even Keith Thurman, Danny Garcia. I think those are more like, even though all three fights, everyone is proving something, right? Golovkin will be proving to the naysayers, hey, I fought the best at 160 and I am the best. Danny will be proving, hey, you guys thought I was done after the Herrera and these other indiscrepancies. I'm not. Thurman will be proving, that I am the most legitimate number one welterweight. And Joshua will be proving that he is no prospect. He is no one's contender. He is a legitimate champion by being the second man after Tyson Fury to beat or defeat Wladimir Klitschko. And then Wladimir Klitschko will be proving, look, I'm not done. I'm not old. I am back. So I don't know. They're all big in its way, but I think that Danny and Thurman have, like, Joshua just arrived. I know that he has obviously is a bigger name. Look, we're talking about him for selling out 51,000 tickets, where none of those other guys except Golovkin come close to anywhere near 51,000, right? But I think that they've been around more, they've done more, where we're invested in them more. Is it fair to say that?
Well, I think it's also important to you sound like a hardcore boxing fan by saying that, because it's important to understand, again, that the heavyweight division will always be the casual division, will always be the sexy division for the masses to see. Because when you see someone like Anthony Joshua or someone like Wladimir Klitschko, two men that are above 6'5", two men that weigh more than 240 pounds of muscle, two men who knock their opponents out into oblivion, it is something that everybody, even if you don't watch the sport of boxing at all, likes to see. You can't not watch. Now, that's why I think, and also you have to factor in the sense that it is an amazing matchup for those inside boxing community, because like you said before, Anthony Joshua seems to be wanting to take the throne of the best heavyweight in the world and the biggest name in boxing. And Wladimir Klitschko, although he did lose to Tyson Fury, still is a viable opponent, because that is his only loss, and we don't know what we're going to see from him. So
but I think that confident in Joshua's ability that Klitschko won't turn this into one of his other many title defenses where he slept his guy to sleep. It was a boring fight for like 11, 12 rounds until he finally got a stoppage somehow.
It'll be harder for him to impose his will and his physical size over a guy who is bigger than him, at least muscle-wise. And so he's not going to be able to necessarily, like what he does often, it's not really the clinching that's the worst, I think. What he does is when he leans down on you, Ness, you know what I'm talking about? where
he takes your energy, because now you got to hold him up or bend down and drop to your knees the way that David Haye did, even though David Haye did it excessively, obviously, when they fought.
Yes, and when someone like Tyson Fury, well, it's a different thing with Tyson Fury because he's a mover. But even someone who's like a little larger, like a Pulev, right? Pulev's like what, 6'4", 6'5"? He's not like a Povetkin who's just over 6 foot. It's much harder for him to impose that type of fight. And now this fight's in the UK. Maybe they won't allow that type of clinching, kind of like it happened in the what's it called, in the Jennings fight, where the referee finally in the later half of the fight, it didn't allow Jennings to be clinched as much, warning Klitschko, threatening to take a point away, and then the fight became very entertaining. Jennings actually won a few rounds in that fight because of that. So I'm confident that that fight will be excellent. And if it's not excellent, then I think that it's actually it will be excellent.
Now, do we get a revitalized, a rejuvenated Wladimir Klitschko? He's going around saying, all the headlines are saying, well, I haven't been a challenger in so long. I'm excited. Is there a newfound hunger in him? Does he have that, Rocky moment? Or is he just done? Because look how long it took B-Hop forever. Like, we especially here at the Boxing Voice always ask these young guys to get rid of the old guys. Teach them that they don't belong in the ring. See, B-Hop learned this lesson. When he was asking that dressing room, are you done? He said, I'm done. I'm done. Now, someone's got to make Wladimir Klitschko say he's done. But is he done? He's still a pretty young, 39, is he? How old is this guy? Born in 76? He's not that old,
40.
Man.
Yeah, he's like 40. But listen, I don't think Wladimir Klitschko is the type of fighter, considering who he's chose to fight his entire career, which is the best available opponent. Obviously, he's not going to fight his brother, who's very close with. It's ridiculous that even people mention that. But I don't think that Wladimir Klitschko's in it just for the money. And I don't think he'd get back in the ring to take a big payday and retire. He's a very wealthy man. I don't think that, considering he also owns a piece, obviously, of K2 Promotions, which K2 is, like you said before, the Klitschko brothers, right? Also the second highest amount in the world. But the incentive for him to beat Anthony Joshua is that he still has a Tyson Fury loss on his record. Now, if he beats Anthony Joshua, who seems to be obviously the rising superstar of the British scene, he will be in position for maybe Tyson Fury, hopefully, to come back in boxing, because as tragic as it is, the dismissal of Tyson Fury from the sport of boxing because of personal issues, he's a great talent, and I want to see him back in the sport of boxing. And I think Klitschko, deep inside, wants to finish his career with avenging that loss. So we'll see what happens in the future, but I don't think this is it for Klitschko. I don't think he beats AJ and retires. I think he said before that he wants to fight well into his 40s. Am I correct with that?
Well, look, I'm not suggesting that he's going to beat AJ and retire. I'm just suggesting maybe he's not as old as some people are making him out to be. I mean, look, does Anthony Joshua look phenomenal? Yes. Physically and stylistically, the way that he's destroying these guys by knockout. But, Charles Martin is leaps and bounds. I mean, there is a huge disparity there between Klitschko and Dominic Breazeale, and who was this last guy he just fought?
Eric Molina.
Like, Klitschko is Klitschko. Just physically, look at how big and in shape Klitschko remains even throughout this, this time in his career.
And even
serious. I don't know. I think
power is
Joshua to be the favorite. I'm a little.
And power is the last thing to go. And
exactly.
Klitschko has power. He has power in his jab. He has power in his left hook, and he has a lot of power in that right straight. And obviously, that Tyson Fury match was not the most entertaining, and Fury won handedly. But there is a point,
different style matchup.
But I was going to say that there is a point, of course, yeah.
Circle.
But I was going to say there is a point late in that fight where he hurt Tyson Fury, not to the point that he was going to finish him, but he definitely showed that his power still was there. And obviously, Anthony Joshua, who kind of fights, he's not. I wouldn't say he's just a crude brawler. I'm not disrespecting his craft like that. but he is a come forward fighter, nothing like Tyson Fury. Their slickness, that term's used. Tyson Fury is much slicker than Anthony Joshua, but Anthony Joshua, he brings a lot of tools. So maybe Klitschko could win. I have to think about it more to really make my pick, but it's a close fight. But I am a little shocked that it's 2-1.
Yo, don't forget this. Klitschko's been watching this kid. He's been using him for sparring for a long time. It's not the same like and Wilder used to spar with Klitschko, but that's been a long time, right? Joshua and Klitschko just were sparring, man. They've sparred each other recently, But listen, MD, let's get out to these phone lines. We don't want to keep everybody waiting. Before we get to the phone lines, word from our sponsors.
These calls are brought to you by our sponsor, El Camino Electrical Services, who have over 15 years of commercial electrical experience, servicing the whole Silicon Valley and the entire San Francisco Peninsula. Visit us at our website, elcaminoelectricalservices.com.
Three, 1, 2, no producer, spontaneous TBV in the morning show. Talk to me. Who's this?
Yo, Fight Doctor in the house. On Rick James status. What's going on, gentlemen?
Fight Doc, what's going on? Talk to me. This is your division, man. You love the heavyweight division. When we first met here on this show, you used to talk so much about the heavyweight division. Are you impressed with the young Anthony Joshua, 18-0, taking on the veteran in Wladimir Klitschko? Or are you like the naysayers that are saying, 17, 18 months out the ring, Klitschko is old?
Well, listen, I have not been impressed with Joshua up until this point. At the end of the day, the question has to be asked, who has he beat? And if you look at his record, it reminds me of, top shelf at the grocery store, lined with tomato cans. Tomato can after tomato can. Now, is he taking a real challenge in Wladimir Klitschko? Yes. Question I have is, at this point in his career, can Klitschko ask questions of Anthony Joshua that have not been asked already? And I'm a bit suspicious. I mean, I don't know. I honestly don't know. I mean, listen, how many punches did Klitschko throw in his last fight?
Not many.
The entire fight. Listen, the entire fight only had 84 punches landed.
Okay, so listen, I think that Klitschko has reached the point in his career where he can't let his hands go. I mean, he looked like crap in the what was the fight before Fury? In the Bryant Jennings fight. He looked like crap in the Jennings fight. I mean, he looked like
I disagree. Okay. Fight doctor. Why did he look like crap in the Jennings fight?
Actually, you disagree. Okay, naturally you disagree. You don't know shit about boxing. I just heard you say that Tyson Fury was Klitschko's only loss. You don't know shit about boxing.
When did I say it was his only loss?
A few minutes ago. Okay? You said it literally 5 minutes ago. You said Tyson Fury was Klitschko's only loss.
Okay, if I made that mistake, this is you're so petty. 1 second, Ness. No. I could talk for myself. If I actually made that grammatical mistake, you're so petty that you actually believe I think that.
I actually believe that you don't know shit about boxing.
Okay.
Guess what? You prove it true with every show. Okay. That's what I think. I think you don't know shit about boxing.
Guess what? Fight Doctor, I think you're trolling now, Fight Doctor. We all know that MD has to know who Wladimir Klitschko has faced and been defeated by. Come on.
Yeah, well, you have more faith than I do, okay? Because I'm convinced the man doesn't know shit about boxing. But back on topic, okay?
Yes, because time is running out and the lines are jam-packed.
All right, well, I'm going to make this quick. Look, Klitschko looked like shit in the Jennings fight. Couldn't muster up 100 punches to throw in the Tyson Fury fight. It's been
90 seconds.
18 months. Well, it will be 18 months by the time he gets in the fight with Joshua. So, I mean, look, I'm not sold on Joshua yet. However, I honestly don't think Klitschko has enough right now to hold off the younger man. Plus, on top of that, these two know each other. So I don't know that.
MD, you're up.
Well,
obviously you want to, you know.
Well, the only thing I have to say is like, you know, I don't know if you've seen the movie The Last Samurai, right? There's this scene in the movie where Tom Cruise, I forgot his name in the movie, you know, has never learned how to fight with, you know, the sword fighting or whatever. And they have like these wooden practice swords. And he fights this guy who's like a fucking master. He's like the brother of like the head of the whole, like, you know, of the samurai. And he just keeps getting knocked down and keeps coming up, right? And like he's getting his ass whooped. He's not putting up a fight. But like that's the fight doctor. So I'm glad he keeps coming back because each time he comes onto the show, he's like Tom Cruise in that scene. So, yeah.
Well, we're going to get out to 951. You're up. Who's this? Sounds like compa. 951.
Hey, what's up, man? First time caller.
Yeah, right, compa. What's going on?
10 seconds.
Hey, what's up, man? What's up, MD? Hey, man, I just want to say good looking out with the show, man. And, man, this shit brightened up my morning. But, man, that Klitschko and Joshua fight, I'm not surprised that it already sold 51K. I think it's going to be a good fight. I'm excited. I'm excited for that fight. You know, it's the young lion versus the old lion. And let me see. You know what? Honestly, I think Klitschko's going to beat him just off of a resume. But, hey, Ness, you know, I just want to say, man, I hope they bring that Garcia Thurman to the Staples Center. That's where it belongs. And I'm out, baby. Yeah.
Compa, man, thank you for calling in early in the morning. West Coast rocking with us, MD. You see that? 812, where is the UK at? We're up early for you guys. Where the UK guys at? 812, you're live on TBV. No producer. Who's this? $812, going once. Going twice. Arrivederci. This looks like Suleiman the Scholar. Talk to me. Damn, let me find out. Don't tell me the phone lines drop. Why is it does that? I think it's because I made it for 30 minutes. I'm going to have to extend it next time. Well, in the meantime, let me see if I can get that back up. MD, talk to me here. Klitschko, Joshua, 51,000 tickets. You got to be impressed by the kid.
Yeah, I'm impressed. And like, here's the thing: it's like as corny as Klitschko sounded in that post-fight conference, like they don't really have to do anything to sell the tickets, like I said. So, you know, and they're also like, you know, like they said, they sparred together and they seem to be friends. So I don't think the pre-fight, you know, the hype to the fight matters, and I don't think it'll be good because either guy, even Anthony Joshua, doesn't seem to be the most have the most gregarious personality. So I think that this fight is so it's just so big.
I might disagree with that because he opens up very, very candidly with Coogan a lot. Even after the Molina fight, you know, I remember he did something like who won next? Where they at? And he was just joking, like, yo, and remember the thing that he did off air with Brazil. I think the kid is a character. I think they just need to keep the camera on him a little more.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess it's to be seen. He's only been, I mean, he's such a young kid, and the spotlight around him is huge, you know. So I don't necessarily fault him for what I think is, you know, he seems to deliver a lot of the lines, but straight up. But I think it takes time to develop it. But he doesn't have to, because as much as people love to hit on Eddie Hearn for what he does, I mean, Eddie Hearn has promoted this guy wonderfully, and it's paid off because they sell out a 51,000 available tickets, and I think it's 21 minutes. So whatever they're doing is working perfectly. And I know people say, obviously, that Anthony Joshua hasn't fought the best level of competition, and myself, I agree. But I think he's proven to be light years above who he's been fighting, and the heavyweight division is not as deep as the welterweight division is. For example, that someone like Earl Spence has an opportunity to get a Chris Algieri and a Leonard Bundu on his record, where they at least look better than someone like, I don't know, what's his name, safety pin, whatever his name is. What's the name of that guy again?
The safety pin. Who's
not
the
safety pin? My God, who's the American guy who he fought?
I don't know. Let me jump out to a caller real quick. Yeah. Gus, talk to us. You're up.
Hey, Ness. Ness, I just wanted to talk about this, the figures that have been released regarding the sale. Now, I believe that the figure is misleading in the sense that the majority of the tickets have been purchased by professional resellers who are using algorithms like BOTS, and then they're subsequently reselling the tickets for inflationary prices like 200%, 300%, 400%. Now, there's been significant outrage regarding the practices of these resellers. Now, the existing legislation is that it is legal to do it, but such as has been the level of complaint regarding it, and now the government is beginning to look into it because it's not operationally possible for 51,000 tickets to be sold in that sort of time frame. You know, these people don't have the capacity to do so. So no doubt the tickets will subsequently sell, absolutely, but people are being, you know, massively ripped up, and I think it's a massive injustice.
Well, okay, so I hear what you're saying, but you mean these people, like the websites don't have the capacity to take that type of web traffic? Because I could see, you would say half of the amount of people, because obviously a person usually buys 2 tickets or whatever, up to 6 tickets. I could see, you know, 20, 30,000 people within a time span of under an hour buying those tickets, because there are people all throughout Europe and the world that want to see this fight. So I don't think it's necessarily the demand that's not there from the individual basis, but I understand what you're saying about the algorithm and the ticket resellers, because that's been a problem for certain fights and for fights like this. And it's very similar it's no different than people making algorithms to, you know, benefit off the stock market, you know, based on quick sells and whatnot. So it kind of, you know, hurts the system.
Yeah, that's what you're talking about. There is HFT, high frequency trading, and there's been problems in that. But in this sense here, there has been issues, and I've had problems. I mean, I did actually comment to Eddie Hearn about it before, saying that, you know, the majority of fight fans are not getting the tickets, or if they are getting the tickets, they're paying significantly more. So in the future, what may happen is that when they're actually selling the tickets, they'll only sell it to if names populated on those.
Gus, you're going in and out, brother.
Matchroom is not really benefit for it. That they're releasing the, you know, Matchroom are selling the tickets for a spot price. So these people are benefiting from it, from reselling it at inflationary prices. So.
Well, you know, conspiracy theorists will say that Eddie Hearn is getting a kickback from some of these ticket brokers. I'm not saying that, but you know, there's going to be people out there saying that, right?
No, I don't think there's a vested interest, because they act like that for every single event, irrespective of who's actually issuing the tickets. This is about technology and the capacity to do so.
Yeah, and like I know it sounds stupid, I guess, but like maybe just like to the ability of since the demand's so high, and I know they do it for like football tickets, like here in Gainesville for UF tickets, like they could make like a line, like, you know, have like a certain amount of tickets available for the people that live around, you know, Wembley, or the Wembley's obviously right outside the London area, right? So to have them available in person, to have like stand and make a line. I know that sounds annoying and whatever, but that gives the people who put the most effort in to have the ability to get the tickets, not getting screwed over by some type of algorithm. Does that seem like a somewhat of a reasonable idea?
Yeah, I believe so. I think people should be physically almost coming into the stadium to actually purchase it, and they should, I think, limit the actual sale to maybe saying, you know, 4 maximum to 1 individual, just to ensure that if it's a family, then that's fair enough. Knowing that if people are buying it for more than 10, then we know it's either a corporate entity doing it or a professional. clearly, just to ensure, I mean, I've been trying for so many times, and it's just becoming impossible to even get a ticket for these events now.
Gus.
Yeah. And I have no problem with someone themselves buying tickets and reselling it, although I guess principally it's whatever. But like, I don't like the fact that these tickets are already available in masses for the resales, like you said, and a lot of the websites that supposedly have ties to StubHub themselves. So maybe StubHub is allowing these algorithms to get through, thus making it, because they get a percentage of them. So I don't know. I don't like it either. I hear your frustrations.
Listen, Gus, thanks for calling in. Let me get to some other callers here. We're going to go to EJ from EJ Boxing Live here on YouTube. EJ, what's going on, brother?
Yo, what's going on, Nez, man? Hey, man, I haven't talked to you for a while, Nez. The first thing I want to say to you, Nez, are you coming to the UK for this big bonanza of the fight? The undercard's going to be stacked. This is a time for you to Boxing Voice, Nez, to come to the UK. Are you going to come? That's what we want to know.
Not this one, man. I'll be there when Wilder comes take the throne.
You got to speak to the queen herself. I don't know if Ness is allowed over there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm joking with you.
Because when I come, I'm coming with Wilder. We're coming to take the belts. He's gonna need me to, hold the belt for him. So it's like,
But that means you don't come in then, because it's probably gonna be in the States, bro. Because he want to make his
No. Wilder's already proven that he's willing to go to anyone's country. He's already. I mean, check my interview with him when I went to Bama. He says it. He's the definition of a world champion. He wants to travel. Believe me.
No, you got it. What I'm trying to say to you is that, like, I'm trying to say to you, when it comes to the purse bid, Joshua would want to go to the States. You see what I'm trying to say to you? I'm trying to say this fight is probably the biggest fight for Joshua to break through. The whole world will be watching. I'm trying to say, like, Joshua fight, Wilder fight's gonna be big, but this fight here for the Boxing Voice themselves, for your UK debut, why not? I'm just saying. Anyway, let me get to my prediction. Anyway, I predict Joshua is gonna beat Klitschko fairly easily. I think it's like, if you ever see wrestling, there's a passing of the throne, like the Ultimate Warrior beating Hulk Hogan, and like Muhammad Ali beating Sonny Liston. You know what I'm trying to say? That's all this is. This is just like a passing of the throne. There's no way Wladimir Klitschko can win against Joshua. There's no way. Inactivity, he's aged like you brought. He's born in 1976. There's no way. He hits too hard. He's on point. He's been active. So all I'm saying is it should be a formality. Right, so the Wilder fight should happen. I'm just trying to say that maybe it'll come to the UK. Maybe.
EJ, let me ask you a question real quick. Are you sold on Joshua's chin? Because Klitschko does obviously still bring power, and I know you have to hit the guy to get, to test the chin, but it's not like AJ is the most defensively sound fighter, and we've seen him in the amateurs get severely hurt. So,
and he's not a big mover either. And we seen the last time someone stood in front of Klitschko, Pulev. It wasn't nice.
So let me break that down. Like, so that's you have to go back a bit. Now he's got Robert McCracken. Robert McCracken has been calf rotch, and he's in the corner now. They've got him in the corner. He'll be more defensively sound. Now, in the question about the chin, we're talking about the heavyweight division. Anyone gets caught properly in the chin, they'll go down. Vladimir will go down. Anyone by them punches. So it's the first one who makes a mistake, he'll get caught. Yeah, his chin can go down, but you're going to go down to, is it that bad being knocked out by Wladimir? I don't think so, to be honest with you. Lennox Lewis, they questioned his chin, but if you look at the guys he got knocked out, they were pretty decent guys he got knocked out. Hassan Ratman he could hit pretty hard, and so could Oliver McCall. So what I'm trying to say to you, it's not like any other division, the world weights and all the divisions you're talking about the heavyweights, and they're not technically as sound as the lower weights. So yeah, his chin could be in question, but if he makes a mistake, he'll pay. But Wladimir, I don't see him beating him. I've been around the camps. I've seen Joshua. Joshua's on form. It's his time. Like a young Mike Tyson in his prime. That's what Joshua is, man. He gonna take the throne. Absolutely, Nez. I don't care what you says, Nez. You might change your mind as the build-up. And UMD, come to the UK. All of you guys need to come to. All you guys over the States, appreciate you, Nez, coming on this time for us guys in the UK. But you definitely need to come over to the UK. It's your time. Nez's time, the Boxing Voice, and that's what I gotta say, man. Thanks for letting me on, man. Take care, guys.
Thanks, man. Thanks for calling in.
No, man. Soon enough, man. As soon as we can, as soon as we grow, man, we all be there for all the big fights.
Yes. Let me say this one last thing about the whole thing with the chin. I hear what he's saying about the chin, but I think sometimes in the heavyweight division, confidence it changes the way in which you approach a fight. because if you know that your chin's not great, and I don't know if AJ feels that, and they've been in sparring, so they only those two men know how it went. You fight differently.
Absolutely, man. Yo, people talking about I'm ducking the UK. You crazy? Financial reasons, man. That flight like $1,500, man. You kidding me? That's a vacation for real.
And when Ness likes to go on vacations, he likes to be by water. So
yeah, man. And it's always pretty chilly out there, isn't it? It always looks.
No, it's seasonal weather. It's seasonal weather, but it's not like coming down.
That fight's gonna be in a stadium, though, right? So it's got to be warm, unless people are gonna be out there in coats and shit.
I don't think it matters. But it's not like they're having the fight in Orlando, Florida, sunny Orlando, where the Keith Thurman Danny Garcia fight should be.
Man, that is the saddest thing. Look, we're talking about how big all three of these fights are, and only two of them have ticket information and venues. PBC, as much as you want to defend them, you just can't. This is like shooting yourself in the foot. Instead of Garcia and Thurman being bigger because of this fight, it's not being promoted properly. We don't have a venue. Fucking Thurman's on a plane today to Montego Bay. Like, wait, he should be losing weight. I'm afraid. I'm afraid for this fight, honestly speaking. Listen, I am your host, Ness GTO. Thank you guys for tuning in with us on this early TBV morning edition. And thank the good doctor all the way in Florida. Find me on Instagram here on Ness GTO on Instagram and Twitter. And you can find my co-host.
Find me at BoxingMD1 on Twitter. And thank you guys for continuing to support this show. The thumbs up, likes. And I know it's repetitive, but it's all it takes, man. We don't charge you guys for this. We do these shows because we love hearing from you guys and we love making the show great.
Speaking of Suleiman, I do apologize, but listen to this, Suleiman. This goes specially to you. We are thinking about doing another one. There's some other big breaking news that actually happened yesterday and is going under the radar for most boxing insiders. But me and MD are planning on bringing that to you guys. It's another Gennady Golovkin topic. We'll keep the details to ourselves, find out with the good doctor if we won't be back today, maybe tomorrow. We'll let you guys know. So definitely subscribe right here to the YouTube channel so you can get that notification every time we go live. And if you're watching this in the future, present or past, hit that thumbs up button because that's the way you say that you love the content around here. I want to thank everybody and see you next time.